Radio Network. Mike DiStefano, a.k.a. Al's brother, in for Brian Hayes. He will be on the show, though, later today at 6:30 to gloat about Hazenborough winning the championship last night. Got Dave Feschuk of the Toronto Star in with me. I will say, though, Fess, although the Detroit Lions, so they win that game 40-36, and the offense looked good, but giving up 36 points to a quite injured 49ers offense that has not really been clicking all that well this season. A little disappointing and possibly a little concerning as a team that's heading into the playoffs, no?
I would say so. Giving up 30 plus. I think it was 34, Al's brother, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 34.
Giving up 34 to a 6-win team. And it was like 34. It was like Brock Purdy picked them apart early in that game. Like they scored, the 49ers scored on the first 3 drives like it was no big deal. And it was just like, and it was easy enough to wonder, like, are the Lions actually playing hard here? Or I think they were playing hard. The defense was playing as hard as it could. It's just a decimated defense that has been absolutely riddled with injuries. And the offense had to bail it out. And it said something to me, Al's brother, that, they pulled out some stops there. It was the Lions playing a 6-win 49ers team in essentially meaningless game, and they're running the hook and ladder trick play, just for the heck of it. And that tells you something. Like, this team needs every trick in the book to win games with the defense it's got right now.
But what I like about them is that they're not afraid to pull out those tricks. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter who what game it is, who they're playing, what the situation is, the down and distance, whether the game means anything, standings-wise or not. Dan Campbell's going to continue to be Dan Campbell, and he coaches the same way every minute he's on the football field. And I actually appreciate that. And I think it's a big reason why this team has been as successful as they've been. Like, even if something comes back to bite him, he's not afraid to go back the next time that opportunity comes up. It's a 50-50 play. He'll double down and do it again, right? And I think it has helped them more than it's hurt them.
I agree. It's a great point by you. And I think you called that game. Like, I was wondering about the pick yesterday. You made the pick. You picked Lions -4.5, and I was thinking, this is a meaningless game for the Lions. Like, who's to say they're actually going to put the pedal to the metal? And you made the point, like, Dan Campbell only knows one way, and it is
I don't think he would have accepted
the pedal
that.
to the metal.
He wouldn't have accepted that from himself or the people on the field.
Yeah, exactly. And but I do wonder, like, this Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, who is the mastermind of a lot of these really cool trick plays that they've run all season, and is a very highly coveted coordinator who probably will not be in Detroit next year in all likelihood. He's probably going to get a head coaching job when all is said and done this season. He must have a lot of plays. Like, if you can waste one like they wasted that one yesterday, where it was Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown over to Jameson Williams and runs it in 41 yards on the hook and ladder, and they ran the fake fumble one against the Bears of all teams. Like, they used up a beautiful fake fumble play against the Bears. Like, they must have a ton of these, Al's brother. If they're not afraid to use these plays against bottom-feeding teams, they must have a bunch in the bag.
Yeah, honestly, they must, and I would imagine that they do, realistically, because they keep coming up with brand new ways each and every week to surprise us and surprise opposing teams, and I would think that they're not dumb enough to use up all the tricks in the bag. There's still a lot at the back of the playbook for when the playoffs roll around or next week when the division's on the line, the number 1 seed is on the line, a much-needed bye week into the playoffs will be on the line for a decimated Lions team. I'd imagine next week they'll pull out a couple against the Minnesota Vikings as well to give themselves the best opportunity to wrap up that 1 seed and get that bye, because for an absolutely damaged defense, they desperately could use a week off to get healthy and start afresh in the playoffs. But we'll see. Coming up in a little bit, we got the captain, Hazy B. We'll chat about that game last night, the Leafs game this afternoon, and Mike Johnson going to join us also ahead of Canada-US tonight, which you can listen to right here on TSN 1050. I'm Mike DiStefano.
Leafs all in on center hunt. Treliving's bold moves could shape Toronto's future. As a die-hard Toronto Maple Leaf supporter, it's hard not to get excited about the latest trade buzz surrounding the team. Brad Treliving, the Leafs general manager, appears poised to make some daring moves to strengthen the squad's depth down the middle. The whispers of significant trades are growing louder, and Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet has added fuel to the fire with his recent revelations. The situation has become even more pressing as the Leafs grapple with the ongoing upper body injury to team captain Auston Matthews. Matthews has already missed the last 4 games, and while the team is doing its best to stay afloat, the need for reinforcements at center is undeniable. Treliving, it seems, is ready to part with valuable assets to address this glaring need. The centers on Treliving's radar. Names like Jake Evans from the Montreal Canadiens, Brock Nelson from the New York Islanders, and the Philadelphia Flyers' Morgan Frost have been mentioned as potential targets. These players bring a mix of experience and skill, each offering something unique to the Leafs lineup. But, as Friedman highlighted during his appearance on the Fan 590's The Fan Hockey Show, the price tags for these players vary significantly. That's the number one thing he's, Treliving, been looking at all season, Friedman noted, emphasizing the GM's focus on finding the right fit at center. This isn't just about plugging a hole, it's about finding a player who can elevate the team to new heights. Priorities in focus. While some fans might argue that the Leafs need help on defense, Friedman suggested that Treliving's primary focus is elsewhere. They did a lot of their work in the off-season. I think now there's a question if they need to go find someone to play with Morgan Rielly, he explained. But, it's not their number one priority. I believe their number one thing all season has been, let's find another center. This clear focus on center depth speaks volumes about Treliving's strategy. The Leafs are willing to pay a hefty price, but there's a caveat: the player must come with term. Why term matters? The preference for term isn't just a strategic move, it's a sign that Treliving is thinking long-term. Rentals can be tempting, especially for a team looking to make a deep playoff run, but they often come with risks. One of the things I've heard is that if they're going to spend assets on a center, they would prefer it to be someone with term, Friedman revealed. This approach ensures that any trade made benefits the Leafs beyond the immediate future. Internal struggles and potential fits. Internally, the Leafs have tried to find solutions. Fraser Minton showed promise earlier this season, but the organization prefers to let him develop further with the Marlies. Meanwhile, the Leafs' current lineup has struggled to maintain its depth in Matthews' absence. One intriguing option could be Vincent Trocheck from the New York Rangers. With the Rangers facing their own challenges, could they be persuaded to part with a player like Trocheck, who already has chemistry with Leaf stars from last year's All-Star game? The road ahead. As the calendar flips to 2025, the trade deadline looms larger. Treliving's actions in the coming months will undoubtedly shape the Leafs' playoff aspirations and potentially their long-term future. For Leafs fans, the anticipation is palpable. Every move, every rumor, and every game feels like a piece of the puzzle. Treliving's willingness to swing for the fences shows a commitment to bringing a championship to Toronto, a dream that has eluded the franchise for far too long. Why this matters? This isn't just another season. This is a chance for the Leafs to solidify their identity as a contender. With Matthews expected to return and the possibility of a major trade to bolster the lineup, the team is poised to make a statement. Treliving's boldness, combined with the team's potential, makes it an exhilarating time to be a Leafs fan. Whether it's Evans, Nelson, Frost, or another unexpected addition, one thing is clear: the Leafs are in it to win it. So, buckle up, Leafs Nation. The journey ahead promises to be as thrilling as it is unpredictable. Treliving's moves could define the legacy of this team, and, hopefully, end the championship drought that has haunted Toronto for decades. The weight of expectations. The Leafs are no strangers to the pressure of the spotlight. Toronto is a hockey city, and the Maple Leafs are its beating heart. Every move made by management is scrutinized, every decision debated endlessly by fans and analysts alike. Treliving stepped into a challenging role when he took over as GM, and his willingness to take bold steps shows he understands the weight of these expectations. What makes this moment particularly critical is the team's current window of contention. With stars like Auston Matthews, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander in their prime, the Leafs are in win-now mode. The front office knows that wasting even a single season could have long-term repercussions. Auston Matthews, the catalyst. Matthews' injury has highlighted just how crucial he is to the team's success. While his absence has been manageable in short bursts, it's clear that the Leafs' center depth isn't built to withstand prolonged stretches without their captain. This has amplified the urgency to bring in another center who can contribute immediately and lessen the load on Matthews when he returns. The captain's recovery timeline is still uncertain, but Treliving's proactive approach suggests the team isn't willing to gamble on waiting too long. The goal is clear: solidify the lineup so that when Matthews is back, the Leafs are firing on all cylinders. The cost of boldness. The term significant assets isn't used lightly. Whether it's high draft picks, promising prospects, or even current roster players, Treliving is signaling that no stone will be left unturned. The Leafs' prospect pool is respectable but not overflowing, meaning any trade will have to be meticulously calculated. There's also the financial aspect. The Leafs are a team that operates near the salary cap, so any addition will require shrewd cap management. Could Treliving pull off a move that strengthens the roster without hamstringing the team's flexibility? If he does, it would be nothing short of a masterstroke. The fan base's role. Leafs Nation, passionate as ever, has already begun dissecting potential trade scenarios. Social media is abuzz with debates about who should be targeted and what assets should be sacrificed. Fans understand the stakes, and there's a growing sense of anticipation, bordering on impatience, for Treliving to make his move. It's a delicate balance for the GM. While fans demand immediate results, he must ensure that any deal aligns with a long-term vision of sustained success. The pressure to deliver is immense, but so is the potential reward. Comparisons to past GMs. Treliving's approach invites comparisons to his predecessors. Some GMs were criticized for being too conservative, while others were seen as overly aggressive. Treliving, however, seems to have struck a balance. He's willing to take risks, but only if they make sense for the team's broader goals. This calculated boldness is exactly what the Leafs need in this pivotal moment. If Treliving can pull off a game-changing trade, he could cement his place as one of the most effective GMs in recent Leafs history. The trade deadline looms. The NHL trade deadline is one of the most exciting times of the year, and this season promises to be no exception. With the Leafs actively shopping for a center, every rumor and report will be magnified. Other teams are watching closely, too, as any move by Toronto could shift the balance of power in the league. It's not just about who the Leafs acquire, it's about what message the move sends. A major trade would signal to the league, and to their own players, that Toronto is all in. That kind of confidence can be infectious, sparking a surge of momentum heading into the playoffs. Lessons from the past. Leafs fans have seen their fair share of trade deadline moves over the years, some more successful than others. From acquiring veterans to bolster playoff runs to making unexpected gambles, the franchise's history offers lessons for Treliving. The key will be avoiding the pitfalls of overpaying for short-term fixes while maximizing the impact of any new additions. The future of Fraser Minten. One of the most intriguing subplots is the development of Fraser Minten. The young center has shown flashes of brilliance but remains a work in progress.